Hört ihr mich jetzt? Heieiei, immer diese Technik. Keine Ahnung. Ich hatte gerade Stromausfall hier. Läuft wieder alles gut zusammen. Hört ihr mich gut? Ist die Musik zu laut, leise? Gerne mal kurz Stellung dazu nehmen. Dann mache ich nochmal meinen Anfang. Ihr wisst ja, ich bin ein alter Mann. Guten Abend, VGR-Professor. Ja, ich probiere es jetzt einfach mal. Ja, schönen guten Abend, Leute. Heute ein ganz besonderer Stream. Ähm, Heute klappt es endlich, dass wir mit Dennis sprechen können. Dennis, ja, Gründer und immer noch wichtigster Mann bei WATA, möchte ich behaupten. Er wird uns Rede und Antwort stehen. Auch kritische Fragen wurden natürlich gestellt. Ich habe gestern ja schon auf Instagram gefragt. Auch kritische Fragen wird er uns beantworten. Ich möchte natürlich hier keine Beleidigung, Beschimpfung oder sonstiges. Aber er geht auch auf kritische Fragen ein. Und ja, er wird uns aus seinem Sammlerkeller in seiner alten Heimat Chicago wird er uns empfangen, wird uns dann hoffentlich auch ein bisschen was davon zeigen, weil das, was ihr da sehen werdet, ist, ja, sprengt jede Vorstellung, was Videospiele sammeln angeht. Deswegen freue ich mich da auch besonders drauf. Und wenn ihr natürlich Fragen habt, gerne in den Chat. Ich sag's euch gleich, mein Englisch ist sicherlich nicht perfekt, aber ich probiere das natürlich so gut wie möglich zu managen und das Interview zu führen. Probiere auch dann, wie ihr es wünscht. Entweder, ich meine, die meisten werden Englisch auch verstehen. Ich kann auch gerne was übersetzen, wenn irgendwas unklar ist. Und ja, werde die Fragen ihm auf Englisch stellen. Er wird natürlich auf Englisch antworten und ja, dann schauen wir mal, wie es läuft. Ne? Wenn ihr Fragen habt, gerne jederzeit rein. Auch gerne auf Deutsch. Ich übersetze es dann. Und ja, dann würde ich sagen, machen wir gar nicht so lange rum und rufen mal den guten Dennis an und ich schalte dann um. Zuerst wird er mit seinem Laptop dran sein und dann, wenn wir später die Collection von ihm anschauen, haben wir jetzt rausgefunden, ist besser mit Handy. Ist jetzt nicht das perfekte Bild, ist halt dann hochkant. Aber ich glaube, für das, was wir hier sehen wollen, wird das mehr als genügend sein. Wie gesagt, wenn ihr da Fragen habt, gerne immer raus damit. Aber ja, hol kurz den Duden raus, ich auch. Ähm, Bleibt über der Gürtellinie und dann machen wir ein schönes Interview mit dem lieben Dennis. Okay, ich probiere mal die Technik hier zum Laufen zu bekommen. Jan, VGR-Sub aus März, Februar, März, ist gerade beim Zoll, sollte also auch bald zurück. Ja, das können wir nochmal probieren, Gameonator. Das haben wir, glaube ich, gar nicht probiert, stimmt. VGR-Sub sollte jetzt demnächst zurück sein. Auch die Mai-Sub, WATA und eventuell sogar die Juni. Mal schauen. Okay, Leute, ich teste jetzt mal hier den Anruf. Ich hoffe, ich höre da nichts doppelt oder sonstiges. Äh, Danke, Kodegawa, für dein Prime-Abo übrigens. Noch ein bisschen verfummeln, dann müssen wir es gleich haben. möchte es nur noch groß kriegen. Hey Koal, schönen guten Abend. Mutang-Clan. Ja, schön, dass ihr alle eingeschaltet habt. Wird natürlich auch gespeichert. Oh. Hey buddy. Alright. So. Hört ihr und seht ihr Dennis? You hear me, Dennis? Oh. Leise. No, not yet. Okay. Ich mach mal die Musik aus, Leute. So. Can you say something?
Yeah. Is my mic
I have to figure out the volume on my stream that people can hear you better.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So now
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, now it's good. Now it's good. Perfect.
I just can't see you.
It's we see you, so that's
Okay.
That's good enough for us.
Are we live?
We are live now.
Oh God.
Hey Dennis. First off, thanks for taking your time to talk to us, to the German collector community. It's great to have you on my stream live.
It's my pleasure. Hi Leute, ich bin Dennis. Ich heiße Dennis. Danke, dass ihr alle eingeschaltet habt. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet eine gute Woche.
Perfect Deutsch. So now
hold on,
we
hold
can
on.
speak German?
Ja. Ich bin dankbar, dass ihr euch für WATA interessiert und ich liebe Videospiele. Mein Lieblingsspiel ist Final Fantasy VII und ja.
Great. So now we talk on German, okay?
Okay, perfect. No. Let's switch to English. Just I don't want to tire it out.
Okay. No, that was perfect. Perfect German. It's really a pleasure to talk to you German and hear you speak German. So that's a good point for my first question. VGA professor asked it in the stream now. It's also a most frequent question is, where is your heritage? Where you are originally from? Or your heritage?
That's a good question. Heritage is I'm Turkish. I'm half Turkish, so on my mother's side. So I'm actually dual citizen. Türkler varsa hoş geldiniz. But I also love languages. So when I was in university, I minored in Arabic, and I lived in Jordan, in Amman, for a year and for a semester, and I also speak Spanish. So I love languages, and now we're adding German.
Yeah.
So at least a little bit.
I have to say, we talked a bit. I sent you some sentences, and you learned really quick. Yeah. So one. Okay, now I tried Turkish. One said in the stream, "Hoş bulduk, Dennis." Is it correct?
Hoş bulduk. Hoş geldiniz. Hoş bulduk.
Okay. So it's a triple language stream today.
Lütfen abone ediniz.
Yeah.
I'm asking for subscriptions, please.
Thank you. So, what do we want to talk about?
Yeah, and I apologize. So the lighting, it's a
Yeah,
little dark
it's
here.
a little dark, but
It's I was running around. I was like sweating just a minute ago, because every time I come back, there's so much things to get in order for the collection. And after we answer some of your Q&A, I'd love to take you guys on a little collection tour.
yeah,
So
would be
uh,
awesome.
in the meantime, it's a little mood lighting, let's
I
call it.
I already teased that your collection is way beyond everything I saw before. So,
Um,
yo, yes,
Have
yes, yes.
a little fun.
So, first off, won't we talk about the our little email issue, maybe?
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. First of all, to anyone that was affected, to anyone that doesn't know, just ignore it.
Yeah,
Yours
insider,
truly
small
is
insider.
just was just an idiot. It's funny because I see stuff like what I did happen, and I always shake my head. I'm like, that guy is such an idiot. How could he have done that? And then there I go, and I'm the idiot. So everyone who's mad or laughs at me and calls me an idiot, you're right. There's nothing else to it. And the sad part is, we normally send out emails through a mail service like, MailChimp or Salesforce, and we weren't able to do it for a certain reason. So we actually paid and bought a special service just to send this one email, and I still messed it up somehow. So
And we want
I wish.
we were on Zoom meeting and we count down three,
Yeah, on
two,
top of
one,
it, we got it,
and 2 seconds later we are,
and
Dennis
you
already
can't undo
noticed.
it. You can't undo it, obviously. And then I said, yeah, that feeling, the feeling in your heart that just sinks. It's like you can't take it back. And then I doubled down and I still tried using the same thing again and I messed it up again. So,
Yeah.
no excuses. If for anyone that was affected, I wish if I wish there's something I could do other than apologize, sincerest apologies. Um, I'm an idiot. Nothing more to it.
Ja, ich hoffe, Leute, I say something on German, okay? So, ja, ich hoffe, Leute, klar, es ist blöd gelaufen und es gibt natürlich wieder solche und solche. Viele haben es locker gesehen. Manche haben sich natürlich wieder drauf aufgehangen. Wir wissen, dass es natürlich suboptimal war und es war mit Sicherheit nicht Dennis seine Absicht, irgendwelche E-Mail-Adressen zu leaken oder sonstiges. Aber ja, es ist blöd gelaufen, es tut uns wahnsinnig leid, aber ich glaube, viele haben es so gesehen, haben es relativ locker gesehen. Manche haben sich natürlich wie immer drauf aufgehangen, aber ja, shit happens und ja, vielleicht mal drüber stehen über so eine Sache. Wir wollten ja eigentlich was Gutes damit tun, diese E-Mail rauszubringen und ja, verzeiht uns das einfach, verzeiht es Dennis und mir und ja, Mund abwischen weitermachen, möchte ich behaupten. Ne? Also mich hat es natürlich genauso affected, ne? Weil die E-Mail ging am Ende unter. Der Service wurde vielleicht nicht so promoted, wie es sein sollte, weil jeder auf diese E-Mail-Leak-Geschichte geschaut hat. Aber ja, seht es uns nach und ja, verzeiht uns da einfach bitte. Okay.
Yes, yes. I agree with
Yeah,
everything. Now,
Dennis
if
agree.
anyone, I just want to say, Tino has zero fault in any of this. Everyone should be directing all of their frustration and anger at me. So I take full accountability, full responsibility, and apologize sincerely.
But I started the countdown. Three,
You did start the
two.
countdown.
So
That's
I
all your fault.
apologize on my side too.
Session.
Session. So, okay. Next questions about the last crack video. You saw it maybe?
I haven't seen it yet. So I'm in Chicago for the National Sports Card Show. It's been a very busy week leading up, and it'll be a busy week this week. So I haven't been able to watch it, but I did hear a little gist of it, and then we spoke. You gave me a little heads up. So I believe it's in regards to giving tens, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, the best person, and Tino, I think we can set up maybe a time for separately for Andrew and for Dan to come on your stream and maybe answer some of the questions specifically related to either grading
Yes.
or research and authentication. I don't want to answer for them because Andrew has done such a tremendous job. I mean, that puts it lightly in terms of how he's built out the grading. And truly, our grading, from a consistency standpoint, because that's the most important thing, has never. I mean, it's never. I don't think it can get any better. And I'm biased, but truly, I've gotten the same feedback from people who are paying attention. And obviously, we might be falling short. We are falling short in some other areas right now, whether it's quality control or some other issues, customer service, whatever. But our grading is just so spot on. Now, in terms of how many tens and what kind of distribution that looks like, I can't speak in an informed way about that. But I can say some general things, which is that well. First of all, Tino, what was, what actually, I'll leave a lot of that to Andrew. But what I do want to say is, I don't see all the games as much anymore these days, but I see special stuff that comes through. And as many people saw, there was an Ocarina of Time 10 that got graded some time ago, and was recently posted on social media.
The Ruby.
And the Ruby. All I can say is that is the nicest Nintendo 64 game raw that I've ever held in my hand.
And so I saw pre-grading photos of it, and it was the cleanest card box game I ever saw.
I mean, it and this is why we preserve tens for anomalies. And when I say an anomaly, I mean it didn't have roller marks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at the back of it and it quite literally looks fake. I mean, and we see a lot of special stuff. We see special games. But this was actually, to me, special in a different way because obviously it's one of my favorite games of all time. Not the collector's edition. I don't care about the collector's edition. No, I'm joking. But it was truly so immaculate that it's like, I don't know. It was special. So anyways, I'll let Andrew at some point talk more about all that stuff in a more informed way. And I think that that's really important for the community to know. But with the consistency of our grading and the scale really hasn't changed, the tens that are getting tens are deserving of tens. I'll just leave it kind of at that. And if anyone has any further questions that I can answer, I'm happy to explore those.
Sure. Ja, ihr müsst auch sehen, Andrew ist der Chef-Grader von WATA. Also er ist, glaube ich, der konstanteste, den sie da jemals hatten. Und der ist jetzt schon einige Zeit am Werkeln. Und ich habe mich auch mit ihm unterhalten. Wir können ihn auch irgendwann im Stream einladen. Like Deniz said, we can talk to Andrew maybe one day in the stream. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a great, and we can set that up. I can work, we can work together so that, and I think it's important to be able to treat those topics separately, the way that we treat them separately at WATA, meaning grading is its own department, right? It is in charge of everything relating to the grading, just like authentication and research are two separate departments aside from grading, right? Yeah. So we have folks that are specialized in each of those categories or each of those aspects of the operation, and so that's all they do all day day in and day out. And so they're the experts. I don't. That's not what I do. I did that at one time, but that was years ago. So I think we can definitely set that up.
Next good question from the stream. Are you hiring people for positions in grading? I might be interested. LOL.
Not currently. We're not currently hiring. However, if you are interested and you live in California, obviously reach out to us. We can at least get you in the pipeline and have that documented. Unfortunately, we're not doing remote grading. So if you're based in Germany, we're not there yet. Maybe one day. Maybe with AI.
Maybe one day. Yeah. Next good question. Is there any timeline for grading, like we always talk about, grading PAL, PS1, and Nintendo DS games?
Absolutely. So this brings up a bigger topic. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about the new cases because I haven't really spoken about them since we launched them.
Yes.
Releasing a new product line, like actually I want to start just by going back to 2017, when we launched the WATA holders. And I think that, I'm actually going to share something that I haven't shared publicly, which is that when we launched at C2E2, we launched essentially prematurely, and we because we were having issues with the case. So when we launched, the cases that we had, a lot of them we hadn't figured out how to properly, or we weren't receiving them assembled from the manufacturer properly. And so we had to figure out how to do that ourselves. But what that meant was when we launched, the games that we had in our cases, a lot of them were essentially falling apart, right? The bottoms were not fixed onto them. So we didn't even want to hand people our cases when we launched. But the point is that despite that, we still moved forward. We figured out a plan, and we fixed it. And we fixed it. We addressed the issue. We found the symptoms, and we fixed it then. But the point is that you might not be able to tell if you own a lot of WATA games. You can actually look at them closely and see that there's probably 20 different iterations of that case.
Yes.
In terms of blister changes, die changes on the injection molded parts. You'll see some of the bottoms on the cases will have like cutouts, where they injection molded, and some won't. You'll see the point where they molded them, put the injection in, switch from the back to the side. You'll see the gasket, the clips, different, everything. There were always little minor tweaks and improvements. Even the label, you might see the label color was different because we switched to a better material that we had to print on. The point is, looking back now, 6 years, every time there was an issue and there came up, we figured out a way, a plan, a solution, and we engineered it to where our legacy case was flawless, essentially. I mean, I obviously have your opinions on whether you like it or don't, but from a case integrity standpoint, a use standpoint, it was perfect. Took a long time to get there, but it did. So I want to give that context because I want to put into perspective. We launched this new state-of-the-art holder, which we're extremely proud of, which feedback has been phenomenal for the most part. But it's a lot. It's the case itself and all the parts, and then it's 30 different SKUs for the blisters because we have, roughly even more than that. So 28 of them are fantastic, but we're having some issues with a couple of the blister sizes. So what we do when we see that there are issues is we first, like anything, like we did in the past, we have to find out what's happening. So first and foremost, the thing that's most important is protecting the games and the integrity of the game. So we would not be sending games out if we didn't think that, or if we had any wavering of confidence, even a percentage, that it's going to damage the game. That goes above all else. However, we do know that there are some aesthetic issues, crumpling of the flanges, things like that, and we already have solutions in the work. But again, all that stuff takes time, and I just want to put all that stuff in context because we launched in April, so we're looking at April, May, June, July. We're looking at just like 4 months, right? So I want to give that perspective. I know when everything's going on, it seems like there's everything's on fire at once, but overall, we're very happy. We're very proud. We're very confident in the product, and I feel extremely confident, even more so, about figuring out solutions to any problems that do exist. And further, and this is probably the most important actually, is that if something happens, as always, we make it right with the customer. There's nothing that kills me more than starting a grading company that damages people's collectibles. But the fact of the matter is that in any grading company, once you do volume, damage is just simply going to happen. There are humans involved, and so it's how do we resolve that issue, or how do we compensate you for damage that occurred, and we pride ourselves on being on actually that step of the process as well. You don't hear much about that because it's usually a very bittersweet thing, but you also tend to hear more about the negative experiences because people are mad. So you don't hear about the people who are who resolve their issues that way and are actually left very happy. And so we always strive to do that, obviously.
So for 1,000 good games, nobody talks about is one bad game and everybody talks about. So it's
and
always the
that's
same.
fair.
Yeah.
And that's fair. We point out the issues and make them an issue so
Yeah.
that we resolve them, right? But I just want to, people might think we aren't seeing them or working. Like, this is all we do. We don't have time to celebrate the wins because there's always something new that we have to take care of or
Yeah.
fix.
So you said 20 revisions of the legacy holder you had, probably.
Roughly, if you're considering all the different changes, yeah, I
Wow.
would say so.
Wow. Awesome.
Over 6 years, yeah.
Wow. There's a question about the legacy holders. Do you have a schedule planned for first releasing the legacy holder to put again games in?
Yeah, so we plan to do that around summer. So, within the next couple of months. We're still planning at a high level to do that. However, we are working on some of these solutions, like I mentioned, that we want to come to fruition first and feel good about that before we start complicating things. So it's the same. I actually want to talk about the PAL sizes. I know I'm jumping ahead, Tino,
Yeah, it's
but
okay.
it's the same reason that we are not today expanding to PAL PS1, Japanese Famicom, Super Famicom, etc. All of that is coming, but we're not going to move on to the next thing until we finish the first thing.
Yeah.
And yes, like I said, yes, 27 of the 28, the majority of everything is great. But until we feel good about 100% of it, we're not gonna proceed. So everyone should feel confident and know that it's on the roadmap, and that as soon as we resolve these things, we'll start expanding into consoles that we don't have yet. And then
It's
we
it's
will
also
be
a
able to
question about the
offer
expertise. Yeah. It's also every
expertise.
yeah.
Yeah. So if I mean that goes without saying, Tino. Actually, it doesn't go without saying, but I've said it in the past. We don't grade anything, and we don't expand if we don't feel confident in
Confident
every
about.
aspect of it. So, like I said, we have authentication, we have research, and we have grading. We need to be able to deal with the nuance that every aspect brings. And when we get into a new region, it's extremely cumbersome and front loaded on that authentication and more so on the research part, which is actually the first step. So research and authentication.
Yeah.
So our researchers spend months building out these databases and researching the landscape because it's new, right? And I think you've actually seen Dan has done a great job of he's starting to share, for example, some of the
Yeah.
variant work and variant discovery that he's done with PAL. But that is that I just want to give those guys some credit. When they share those, that is just like they're giving a little nugget of something fun to share. The work that's being done on the back end is to build this stuff
Yeah.
out, and the
So
other
much.
discoveries is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible. I, and sorry, I have I'm taking another second to brag about those guys because this isn't me. This is all of them. And the pop report is often, we talk about it as a pop report, but what I use it more for is a variant guide.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is literally the definitive variant guide for video game collecting. And at least for the systems that we publish, and for NES, I'll give an example, and we'll go take a look in a little bit. But for years, I thought I had most variants on NES collected for my set. And then when we published the list and I looked, I was missing like 150, 160. So I've been having so much fun getting those, and I wouldn't be able to do it without WATA's pop report or variant guide. So I just wanted to mention that too, and give credit to Dan and his amazing team.
Yeah, I shared it last week. I never know before with the Ocarina of Time. He posted the German version in 3 different variations. So I didn't know before, and I'm a PAL collector. Yeah, so it shows how hard it is to get all these informations, and it's like the same with creating new stuff. You have to research everything. So yeah, it takes time and yeah, I can understand, and I think most people understand. And it's better to do more research before creating stuff you have no expertise about. And for me, it's a better resolution for this.
Yeah, and you know the other aspect of it, Tino, is that we're building community, and we have a relationship. We have built relationships with other collectors in Germany, and that's what we want to do. We want to build relationships so that we can do this collaboratively and in a symbiotic way to where, you know, we are just getting so much volume and so much unique things coming through us.
Yeah.
We want to be able to do a service and capture whatever's needed and then represent that to the community so that we're giving resources that can advance your collecting, whether you're grading or not, right? As you'll see, 99%, 100% of everything here is raw. And I still use these tools. So very exciting and rewarding in that we get to meet amazing people from the community that from all over the world.
So would you say our collab is a good work for that?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
No,
Okay, thank you.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. We and you know, it's a great example. Tino, you and I, sometimes we don't have anything to talk about, but we'll still get on our call and just share, you know, whatever we picked up lately.
And that's most our longest talks.
Yeah.
when we talk about our collections, so that is mostly our longest talks.
Correct.
So why you said yeah, maybe. So that's why I ask my next question. It's harsh. We have to talk about quality control. Some ask in the Instagram in my Q&A ask about the quality control.
Absolutely. My intuition is that a lot of the quality control issues that people are talking about are actually blister failures, for lack of a better term, blister issues. There's a thinness issue with some of the flanges on the blisters, and so it's purely aesthetic, but it's one of those things where it happens in shipping. So our quality control in that aspect is perfectly fine. That is more of of one of those case issues. Again, it's not something that in those instances that we're talking about are damaging the games. It just doesn't. It obviously doesn't look good and needs to be reworked. So if it's about that, those are the kinds of quality control issues that will get resolved as we figure out solutions for the case. Other quality control issues, I know seem to still, you know, be an issue for some folks, and we are doing our best to address it. This is one of those aspects of being at a larger company where you don't necessarily have control over every aspect of the process, and essentially what the new case has done is it's just introduced a whole set of new processes that has created some areas of the process to suffer a little bit more as we focus on making sure that the product, you know, is functional, and focusing on the more important things for, you know, again, not to minimize the importance of quality control. So all that to say, it sucks. I hate seeing it more than anything, especially when it's something that is catchable or fixable or obvious. Again, we always do whatever we can to make it right and pride ourselves on that. So I just want to, you know, keep reinforcing that. But we need to get better. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that as we keep solving these new case issues and get more used to the process with them, that quality control issues will also decrease dramatically.
All right.
I hope that answers it. If there are any specific questions or specific issues that you or anyone else wants to drill deeper into, I'm more than happy to talk about that either here or off stream.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot when we call. It's something. I think the process is doing better every time I get submissions back. So I think a big thing was the new case. The quality control maybe looked more at the new case. Is everything okay with the case? outside, so maybe some issues with the blister or scratches on the blister. So um, it happens, of course. And like I said before, everybody talks about the one game with the issue. Thousands are perfect, but yeah, we have to talk about.
Yeah, and that's another good point. I mean, we're shipping thousands of games, right? Every week. It's yeah, it's not representative of how deep the issue is. What you see. But again, the thing that's most important to me, as having done this for so long and had issues at every step of the process, and been good at every step of the process, and every mix in between. Um, this is the stuff that I don't want to minimize it by saying I'm not concerned about it, but I guess what I'm trying to say is we put so much energy, maybe too much, into making our grading and authentication the best it possibly can be,
Yeah.
and so I feel so good about that stuff, and that is the hardest thing to nail. So the rest of it can be figured out. I mean, quality control shouldn't be that difficult, right? That is so much more in our control, um, than nailing authentication and grading, which takes years and years and
Mm-hmm.
years. And so, like I said, I feel very good that that we're in that position, but we have to fix this stuff. It's like you get everything. There's some analogy. I'm terrible with analogies, but you get everything perfect, the grading, and then you just mess it up at the 1 yard line, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or the what's a
The
American football
the
analogy?
the penalty.
You miss
You
the
missed the
penalty, right?
penalty
You miss the
at
penalty.
soccer.
Yeah, yeah. You miss
Yeah,
the penalty with no goalie, right? It's
with
like
no
no
goal,
goalie in
with no
the net,
goalie.
open net, and you miss. So, it's frustrating.
Yeah,
But I know I'm looking long term, and I know we can fix that stuff.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Another question about development. Do you have an eye on the value development of the games, and where do you think it is going in the future? So,
Value development meaning like
so like
the
the
value of video
value,
games.
yeah. If you look at heritage, you look at the value development, or is it not? Is it not for you? So it's not a hobby of
Yeah.
you to search for the games and everything.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not like I used to be, where I used to watch I used to be in tune with everything. So I've taken a step back in terms of that, and I get the snippets, but I've been watching the market, of course. Um, and everything. I'm someone who's been affected in that I've never sold anything, but I've bought intensely before, during, and after.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it obviously hurts when you buy something at the peak, and it goes down significantly in value, but that's the reality of markets that are speculative, and a ton of speculators came into this market. I think that they left, and the market has had essentially bottomed out, or really hit the lows. Um, maybe the last auction cycle, and I think we've seen some improvement. But I think that prices are, they're back to where they should be.
Mm.
It's reflective of demand, and I think we saw these rises and these falls that have settled, and we still have a good idea of relative value, and we have a good idea of games that were just way too inflated. I know games, there are games that are still collector games that never blew up and are
Yeah,
still
yeah.
rising. You look at the CIB market, and I think the CIB market is stronger than ever. So I think there's also an element of just the world, the economy. That's another thing. People, it's in the past. I used to say that collectible markets were basically impervious to what was happening in the macroeconomic markets, and they weren't strongly correlated, because you'd see that we'd have financial downturns in the economy, and collectibles would still be going up.
Yeah.
But I think COVID changed that whole dynamic, and this market with COVID, just like all the other collectibles markets,
Mm-hmm.
became more mainstream, and they became exposed to speculators, and everyone had money, and everyone was spending. So I think that's why as we see the economy pull back, we see the market pull back just as much. It's directly correlated.
Yes.
Because it was caused by that, right? So I'm very optimistic about the future. I think it's great if you're a buyer today because there's great deals. Things are cheap. Things are starting to go up again. But from a buying and trading standpoint, I think it's a very fun time.
Yeah.
And it's it's all collectors. It's all collectors. Everyone involved is just like a hardcore collector at this point. So it's cool. I think it's cool, and I get it. It's tough for people who lost a lot of money, and value.
Yeah,
So
but they lost it everywhere, right? They lost it at
everywhere,
the Bitcoin market. They lost it with watches. They lost it with trading cards. So it's everywhere
there
the
are
same.
comics,
Yeah,
there
the
are comics,
economy
there are
is the
sports cards
problem,
that are
not
down
the
90.
collectibles itself.
Right. Yeah, and you see games that are down anywhere from 30% if is good to 80%,
Hmm.
right? And similar with sports cards,
Yeah.
50% there are some cards that are 90% down, right? And that were hugely speculative. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
that's reality,
Yeah.
Sam, we keep going. Again, it's such a cliche, but if you collect what you love, it doesn't matter,
Yes.
We all want our
It's
stuff to be
always
valuable.
I always say the same.
Yeah,
It's not about the value. If you like something or love something, it's I don't care about value of my stuff. So I want to have it in my collection and I don't care really about the value. Really.
right.
Um okay. So far so good. Uh but now no, just joking. Um what's a good next question? So when we already talking about soccer, uh, Fenner or Gala?
Oh,
Or you're not?
Galatasaray.
Okay.
I grew up. My mom and my grandmother. She grew up right at Fenerbahce's stadium. So I
Okay.
should have been a Fener fan, but no, I was because I was playing a lot of FIFA when Drogba. Remember Didier
Didier.
Drogba
Yeah.
was on Galatasaray. So
Oh yes.
that was
Good
a
old
fun time.
times.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Now everyone in America is going to be a football or soccer fan.
yeah. With Messi in Miami.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. so on the side.
I should have said Beşiktaş, by the way. I should have said like Trabzonspor, one of the other ones instead of Fenerbahçe or Galatasaray. Oh well.
Okay. He said, "Oh no. I like your grandma and mom, but Fenerbahce all the way." All right. Okay. So, getting back to business. Somebody asked about will there be custom cases for steelbooks in the future? Steelbook variants like for
Mm,
PS2, so for the hard box
yeah.
stuff.
Unfortunately for any, what we do have. So if something isn't fitting in our new holder, and if we can't figure out a way to get it in there,
Mm-hmm.
we have a fallback option, which is putting it in our legacy case. So
Mm-hmm.
a good example is like the blisters are made. They were made much more to be perfectly to spec. So when you have, I think it's a blue, like a slip cover and a steel book or
Mm-hmm.
something like, or the hard steel book. It adds too much and it can't fit in the new holder,
Yeah.
but it fits in one of our legacy holder ones. So um, in those instances, what we're gonna do is we're gonna update our FAQ of everything, all those ones that don't fit in the new case but fit in the old case.
Mm-hmm.
And if you send them and you're okay with it, you don't want it just sent back raw, we will send that back in the legacy holder.
Okay, perfect.
Um, Another example of this is Japanese N64. So
Mm-hmm.
we actually cannot fit that in our new holder. So anytime we get those, they just go in the legacy holder.
Ah, okay.
Same with small box PC,
Didn't know
right?
that
So there's just
before.
a couple of really weird ones, oddballs that don't fit, but they fit in the legacy, and so we put them, and we'll still use those for those.
Um, but wasn't there an issue with slipcovers with round and sharp corners.
Yes. Same thing. The updated legacy part for those. Actually, Tino, let me make sure. I don't want to speak out of my ass. So let me confirm. I won't be able to share it here,
Yeah.
but that is something that maybe Dan can talk about. Because he actually does help with some of the engineering of the sizes and things like that when he's on stream. But it's such a specific one. I don't have the answer because I get confused with there's the steel book, then there's the slip cover,
Yeah. So
Blu-ray steel
so
book,
many variants.
DVD slip
Sure.
cover, then there's ones with both, then there's like the Resident Evil, steel book style ones, Resident Evil 4. So, um, if it's more clear about which one we're talking about, I could probably give a more informed answer.
Perfect. Yes. Um, what are the plans to reach more people for the hobby of created games? Things like we do, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. It's
Extend.
personally, I think that what needs to become more normalized is preserving versus grading for value.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is think of all the people who grade Pokemon cards because it's just cool to do, and it's nice to preserve your
Yeah.
childhood because it's nostalgic. They're paying $15 for a $2 card. It's not like I'm gonna get this graded and get a 10 and then sell it for $1,000. That's
Yeah.
not why people are grading. And so I think that it's just this hasn't really been put out there, but I view a lot of like the CIB grading and even gen grading that we do as a way to preserve and just look at your memories, right? You can find a game that's not valuable and put it in a case, and that gives you something that you can put on your shelf and look at. And it's foreign to us as video game collectors because we that was where we started 10, depending on when you got in, 5, 10,
Yeah.
20 years ago. And we're so removed from that first experience, but there are so many people who that is their first experience, right? We're saying, how do we get new people in? They don't, they're not familiar with collecting. And so I think there's this whole other appeal of video games that is more nostalgia based and less about value. Like so many of the, when everyone was speculating, they did
Yeah.
that's what became the focal point. But um, it's about preserving memories, and that's what our mission was, right? Preserving nostalgia and elevating it to this form of art and history, which is what video games have become.
But
Have
games are
transcended.
meant to be played.
Well, Tino, today with technology, that the argument. It's funny that argument is
It
actually.
always comes,
It's still,
It's the same
I
here.
know, it
It's
still
same
comes.
here.
It still comes. But things have changed in the last 5, 7 years, and I just
Of
want to
course.
bring this to people's attention. Technology has gotten to the point where to have the exact same experience of playing that video game is actually so much harder and more expensive and difficult to do it on original hardware than it is through technology, whether it's the EverDrive or
I
emulation
showed
or
the analog pocket in the street in my camera.
I've got the analog pocket, I've got every EverDrive. I mean, that's what I use.
FPGA chip and everything goes, yeah,
Yeah.
like on
And
the original hardware.
show me, and if you're saying, well, it's supposed to be played on original, show me, the purest form of gaming, a speedrunner who, I mean, I know there's a couple, but show me the majority who are playing on original hardware. They're playing on the virtual console or on the
Hmm.
computer, with emulation, and um, it's just difficult. Like
Yeah.
you have to now buy a tube TV. You got to buy
Hmm.
the hookups. You got to make sure the NES works. To get a new chip pin connector if it doesn't. The games, each one's expensive. It is cumbersome. It is difficult, and
Yeah.
so we've reached this inflection point where it's actually no, the game, you shouldn't play the original. You
Hmm.
should preserve it. I mean, you should do whatever you want. You
Yeah.
should break it in half
That's
if you
that's
want.
the point,
Yeah,
and many don't get this. Do whatever
but
you
yeah,
want, not what
do
everybody
whatever
else
you
want.
want. I mean, people. I know there's guys There's people that I like that I consider friends who still open sealed games. Like, great, if
Yeah.
that's not getting me mad, you know. I've done that in the past. I know what that's like. I wouldn't do it to an expensive game. I
Mhm.
wouldn't do it, period. But go for it, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's everyone is interacting with this hobby and with this medium however they want and however makes them happy. If that's playing, if that's putting it in plastic, if that's whatever, just I think we're too concerned with what other people do, you
Yeah.
know, with their time.
That's a big big issue of the most people.
Yeah.
Um,
So
are you still collecting games, standees, or signs? We talk about this
we'll,
later, but it's
we'll
a
see. We'll take a look
yeah,
and
we
we'll
take a
see.
look. Okay, that's good.
Yes, I'm still collecting. I'll never stop
Hmm.
collecting.
Yeah, and
Never.
I saw, like I said before, saw a sneak peek yesterday, and yeah, I would say he is collecting. um, is there a plan to like with the music CDs? Is there a plan for game game related DVDs like Final Fantasy games or I don't know Pokemon or stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Anything ancillarily related to games uh makes sense, and we want to preserve. If we, or if the video game collectors collect it, like, we want to preserve it, right?
Yeah.
Um or we want to be able to grade it, I should say. So um yeah, I think that's another question for Dan, and something that he would explore in terms of the viability of adding those ancillary items.
Hmm.
And so it's a great question for when he comes on, and we set that up. But definitely, as long as it's video game related, uh, we want to be able to preserve it.
Yeah. What was the first game ever sent to water? You know it?
Of course, cert number 0000001 dash 001
Wow.
is NWC Gold. 002 is an NWC Gray, and that whole first order um was Richard Lessie, who he's no longer with us. He passed away, but um he had the first like 20 games in that order. And so the first one, though, he wanted to insist was the NWC Gold. So technically that was the first game.
Was it ever for auction somewhere? No.
No, no.
Okay. Mm.
I'm trying to think what other ones, because we did some. I want to say the like an Earthworm Jim was the first one from a customer, but maybe that might, or from a like when, because we did like a test submissions within the community,
Sure.
and then we after we launched um publicly in April. I think it might have been an Earthworm Jim. I'll have to go look. I can't believe I don't remember that. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Will there be ever be big boxes PC games graded in water cases? I mean, it's
Maybe,
really, it's
maybe.
maybe
Um,
it's huge,
yeah, it's just very
but there's also
challenging.
so many sizes of the big boxes,
It's
like
just so
20
challenging to build a
different
standard.
sizes of
Yeah,
big boxes. So yeah,
yeah.
really
So
challenging.
I would love, and we have put in some engineering efforts to figure out solutions, and we're still looking at that. It's not something that's coming in the next 3 to 6 months. I can
Mm.
definitely guarantee that, but it's definitely on the roadmap as well. Not a huge priority. Let's get other sizes and things that can fit in our cases figured out first. That's sort of our philosophy right there.
Yeah. Okay. So you already said what's your favorite game of all time, but what are your Mount Rushmore? Everybody, every time I hear about the Mount Rushmore, what are your maybe top four or top five games of all time?
Maybe when we're walking through,
Ah, yeah,
I
okay,
will
you
I
can
will
show us.
think, I'll say, what, actually, and I'll add this, but the top three never changes, and it's Final Fantasy VII, Ocarina of Time, Ocarina of Time. People get mad. People get mad when you say Ocarina.
Like
Well, that's
my
what I
like
thought.
when I say Pokemon, it's the
Yeah.
same here.
And Red Alert too.
Red alert.
Um, Red Alert too.
All
So
right.
have to throw some PC in there. And then once I start expanding it to PC, then I start going, oh my God. I think I'd throw, GoldenEye,
Hmm.
um, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Oh yeah.
2, um, up there, Spyro. Um, yeah, well, let me see if I modify that at all. Let's leave it there and let's see after the tour if I get inspired and modify the top five.
Yes. Um, is there any game you're searching for, or do you have everything you ever wanted?
Of course, there's never stops.
Yeah.
There never stops. Um, yeah, no, lots. I'm still building sets. I still haven't finished my Super Nintendo set. Um, PlayStation 1 set. Game Boy Color still need a bunch. Game Boy Advance. Then I'll start Wii at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Unlicensed NES still need a handful. I gotta get into. There's PAL stuff I love. Sealed wise, I'm going for a black box set, so I think I'm at 23. So I need 7 black box
Mm-hmm.
games sealed. There's displays I'm looking for. Never stops.
Yeah.
So, I have too many goals. Actually, I
Yeah.
need to stay
I,
focused. That's the problem.
I know this problem.
Yeah.
Same here. Um, what about consoles?
Grading consoles?
Grading consoles. Wouldn't it be smart to get a company side for doing special sizes only? I would happily pay for it.
I wish that one I can say is not on the roadmap. Um, it's just too difficult from a engineering standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Build, we if we started getting into custom casing, and maybe that's something we can explore and discuss, then it becomes viable. Without custom casing, it's essentially impossible. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's possible. Just the R&D, you would never, you would the investment required,
Yes.
the cost benefit, it just would never make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, they're bulky. They're so hard to deal with. I love consoles. Um, just operationally, it's a logistical headache. So, um, we'll leave that to VGA for now.
Okay. he said it. Uh, what you prefer? Xbox or PlayStation?
I'll show you both collections. I'll show you, and then you guys will
Yeah.
decide. I was gonna
I think it's better
show
to all the questions about what he
my
like
collection.
and what he's collecting and what's not, and I think it's better if we take the room tour then. So maybe
Perfect.
we wait with these questions. So from
Perfect.
the grading standpoint, um, would you like to talk about our service? What we are? Why is it
Yes.
good to send over retro ecke? What we have done in the last months? Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
was it the hard
You
way?
almost forgot that was the point of the whole stream.
No, no,
Uh,
no, 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 no. that
Yeah,
that
yeah, no,
wasn't
it
the
was,
point.
but we did want to touch on it. Yeah, we're super proud of it. I mean, we spent the better part of a year building this out. As they say in German, das Rad neu entfinden.
das,
Um,
das Rad neu erfinden.
das Rad neu entfinden. So don't we didn't need to reinvent the wheel. We took the learnings that there are 3 parties here, right? We had learnings from WATA, especially with the customs risk, because that's a huge problem for people, and it erodes all of your confidence to ship something, right?
Yeah.
I would feel the same way. You have learnings from being our number 1 submitter and shipping overseas for years, and then of course, collectors has learnings through PSA and PCGS, having shipped millions of cards and coins around the world, and figuring out the nuances of the shipping side, the video game specific side, the Germany side, and then sort of tying it all together. And it's a lot. There's a lot there, but again, we just take the learnings and apply them. And so that's what I mean by not reinventing the wheel. It's not something super complicated, but we figured out specific processes and routes to follow when we're shipping this stuff through Utino, through our partner, as a group submitter, to where the risk is, I can never say it's eliminated, right? There's
Yeah.
no such thing as 0% risk,
Yes.
but it is very, very, very decreased. Okay, almost. It's I don't want to say almost. It is very low.
Yeah.
Almost zero compared to the risk that you have shipping it yourself. And so all we want to do is pass that along. If we figure it out, we want to figure out a way to pass it along to customers, because it's a huge pain point. We've been hearing for years about how people overseas in Europe and Germany would like somewhere to ship their items in Germany or in Europe, so that they don't have to worry and have peace of mind for the customs risk,
Mhm.
the exorbitant shipping costs. It costs so much. And so we want to not only pass along the risk mitigation, but we want to pass along the cost savings as well.
Yeah.
And this is the best way that we can do it.
And first time we talked about this middleman thing is when I visited you in October. So it's almost 1 year for all the process done with the customs, with talking to FedEx, with have a customs agent in the States, a customs agent here in Germany. So it took a while. So that's why, yeah, we started it now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This stuff takes time. You're building the relationships. You're getting everything, all the parties in sync, overseas. And so yeah, but like you said, we have like a dedicated team of customs brokers who makes sure this stuff is routed properly, and that customs knows, what these are. These are collectible sealed video games. They're not supposed to be open.
Yeah.
They don't have drugs in them,
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's exciting. And I also am looking forward to the feedback. Both, I'm sure you'll get some, but we both want the feedback to see where, if we can improve the process,
Yes.
where we can improve. We're just launching this, and we're very, very excited about it.
Yeah,
So
it's a process, yeah. Right. It's first time I started a website, first time customers sent in stuff to me. So yeah, of course it's a process. We work on it. We are not free of failures. So but I think we done our best in the last couple of months to get this done perfectly.
absolutely.
We Dennis, we talked every week for the last half of year or something. So
Yeah,
yeah, figure everything out, and I think we're on a good point now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're very, yeah, yeah. Well said.
All
If
right.
there's anything else to add, I think that covers most of it. But if people have questions, obviously you have Tino, you have myself. Um, we're always here for any time, for anything. But as we launch these new initiatives, we want to be sure that we're answering questions as they come up.
Äh, nach Rose, ja, sie ist zu kritisch. Da werden wir nicht drüber reden. Dennis, do you like Fortnite? A little side question.
Who's asking?
His name is Kotegawa in the stream.
I'm joking. I'm joking. It's funny. I've known what Fortnite is for years. Fortnite. I've heard of the
Yeah.
kids game. Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids game. Yeah,
Mhm.
the kids dancing and the whatever. Like 4 months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna download it. And someone was, I think Dan Gomez
Oh yeah,
was like,
he's a good player, right?
I am addicted now.
Really?
Like, I love Fortnite.
No.
I don't have a ton of time, but I will get on there. And well, here's the problem. I started, and they play you against all the bots. So I'm winning, and I'm like, I'm so good. I'm like taking pictures, because I, like, my first game I got in third, and then the second one I came in first. And I'm like, I'm so damn good at this game. No, I'm just playing against bots. They're making me win, right? To make me feel good about myself. So, anyways, that's how they got me.
Okay.
But
I never played it till today. Never played.
really, you should
No.
try. You should
Yeah,
try. For me,
I'm a bit afraid. I
I
don't want to
resisted
be
it.
addicted to a game now.
I know. That's the worst part right now is that I have to like, I started to be like, I got to get the daily quest. That was like too much. Once I started doing that, I had to pump the brakes a little bit.
Somebody said you missed the golden time, season 1, 2, and 3. If you started back then, it would be the GOAT game for you for sure.
Oh, the GOAT game, yeah.
Yeah.
I know people who have, like Dan was telling me how much the game has changed over the years.
Hmm.
And I started watching some videos and I understand that being there for sort of the journey of the evolution of Fortnite is in and of itself something cool. And
Right.
and people who were there, they goated. I get it. And I get it. It's what they've done is impressive. I mean, for me to sit down, play it for 5 minutes, and then I'm hooked. And a lot of that is because of the UI, UX, the way that they've built out the rewards, the gamification within the game, right? It's brilliant. I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. So I would say last question before we start a room tour,
Okay.
because you have not so much time.
I have a
Uh,
life.
we had no, no, we don't, we didn't.
No, we don't.
um, Last question. What about a pop report for PAL and Japanese games?
Um, question for Dan. Because
Yeah,
I know,
I think it's a
yeah,
good question for Dan.
it's a good question for Dan. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'll let him talk about it. I think we just launched Switch, or we're releasing Switch pops. So, anytime that we can clean up the data, it's tough for PAL because of,
So
you
many
know,
variations,
so many variations, and now
languages.
we're streamlining it, so we have to retroactively go
Mhm.
back and update the nomenclature, and it's just very labor intensive. It
Yes.
takes a lot of
Yeah.
hours. But once
Can imagine.
all that stuff gets done, and then it gets added, so I'm sure it'll happen. Dan will be able to talk much more informed about that.
So one question from me. I saw Dan on Instagram with modern database and all this stuff.
Yeah.
How do you figure out to hire him? It was the best transfer for WATA, in my opinion.
Dan has
Can you talk about this?
Dan has left a fingerprint, or has infused, as has Andrew, their DNA into WATA, and it's become a integral part of our DNA, our footprint, who we are, and I mean, it's been so beneficial, not just for WATA but for the community. Truly, I feel that. Dan, I started speaking with Dan because he called me as a customer
Really?
one day. He emailed, and then I called because he was mad about something. Um, he wasn't like mad, but we labeled one of his. He sent in the Xbox. The launch titles have the not for resale version
Yeah.
for the first 9 or whatever it is. So I think he sent some, either those or display box versions, and he didn't like the name that the nomenclature we were using, because we were going to grade them or not grade them, and he didn't like. So anyways, that we started speaking, and I could tell through that conversation that he had a lot of insight, and he had a lot of good sort of ideas about how variants can be treated, and this and that. And so we started talking, and the rest is history. But
Yeah.
my first interaction with him started because he had an issue with WATA. So if you have an issue, come talk to me, and
Yeah.
who knows what will happen. You
Oh
too, you
man.
came out to WATA. Maybe it wasn't
No,
for an issue.
yeah, it was the issue, but next time
Yeah,
I know better.
yeah.
So, what about starting the room tour?
Okay, so we're gonna need to take a little break because I've drank like 3 water bottles and a tea.
Yeah,
So
yeah, take your time.
let me run to the bathroom.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn on the light. I'll switch to my phone. Maybe I'll come back I'll just leave this here. I'll come back in a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
We'll switch to the phone and then we'll start.
Okay, so I talk a bit
Okay.
on German, and
Yeah,
when you come back,
yeah. I'll be right back in just a few minutes.
all right.
Just a few minutes.
Ja, Leute, war doch sehr interessant, oder? Er hat sehr offen gesprochen, finde ich, auch über Probleme. Ähm, Ich bin froh, dass wir ihn da mal dran gekriegt haben. Es war ja auch schwierig. Ähm, Dass ich jetzt auf ein paar Sachen nicht eingegangen bin, klar, müsst ihr auch verstehen, dass der jetzt nicht über irgendwelche Gerichtsprozesse redet. Ich glaube, das dürfte jedem klar sein. Ähm, Ich war froh, dass er recht offen über Qualitätsprobleme geredet hat. Ja, also ich habe ihn ja auch kennengelernt, so die letzten Monate über die Zoom-Meetings und so weiter, wo wir das Ganze angestoßen haben mit dem Grading-Service. Und ich muss echt sagen, er ist ein super smarter Typ, ähm, dem man anmerkt, dass er richtig Bock auf dieses Collectibles-Hobby hat, was ihr jetzt auch gleich in seiner Sammlung sehen werdet. Das ist wirklich der Wahnsinn. Ähm, und dass der das auch nicht, also das nehme ich ihm auch voll ab, dass er das nicht nur aus Finanzgründen alles gestartet hat. Er wollte wirklich einen Service haben, der sich darauf spezialisiert, seine, seine Sammlerstücke bestmöglich zu, ja, Preservation, also bestmöglich zu präsentieren, dass es in dem Zustand bleibt, wie er ist. Und damit hat er einfach eine Grading-Agentur gegründet. Und ich nehme ihm das voll ab, dass er das nicht aus finanziellen Gründen gemacht hat. Klar, dass man mit sowas dann irgendwann Geld verdient. Aber wenn ihr jetzt seine Sammlung seht, dann wisst ihr, wo er herkommt und warum er angefangen hat, sich um sowas Gedanken zu machen. Definitiv. Freaky Freak. Das große Problem, was ich daran sehe, ist, dass seit WATA bei Collectors ist, dass diese Qualitätskontrolle genauso wie bei PSA, also PSA, die Coins, die laufen alle über eine Qualitätskontrolle. Und die haben da so eine hohe Fluktuation anscheinend, was Leute angeht, ähm, die immer wieder angelernt werden müssen, neue Leute. Ich weiß nicht, warum es, ob da so ein schlechtes Arbeitsklima ist oder so in dieser Qualitätskontrolle. Aber die haben wahrscheinlich so eine hohe Fluktuation auch. Das ist natürlich keine Entschuldigung, dass solche Spiele rausgehen. Ähm, aber ich kann es mir eigentlich nur so erklären, dass das seit es bei Collectors ist, hat sich das halt verschlimmbessert. Natürlich können sie mehr auffangen, mehr Backlog konnten sie lösen und so weiter. Aber es ist trotzdem schwierig, diese Leute so perfekt darauf zu trimmen, dass die das Zeug ordentlich machen. Ne? Es ist keine Entschuldigung und natürlich mich nervt es am meisten, wenn Zeug nicht passt. Vor allem, wenn es dann für Kunden ist. Deswegen, wie gesagt, ich rede immer wieder, jedes Mal kommt das Thema bei mir auf, wenn ich irgendwas auf Facebook sehe von Leuten, die Probleme mit irgendwelchen Sachen hatten. Ich spreche das immer an. In jedem Zoom-Meeting, was ich mit ihm habe, hey, hast du das gesehen? Hast du das Problem gesehen? Sie arbeiten wirklich dran und ich glaube, Dennis ist da wirklich hinterher. Aber es ist halt echt schwierig anscheinend, da die Qualitätskontrolle bis zum letzten Punkt wirklich so hinzukriegen, wie er sich das wünscht. Aber natürlich, die müssen dran arbeiten. Und jetzt ist er auch zurück. One second.
Bereit?
Ulvi, ja, ich habe deine Frage gesehen, aber ich weiß nicht, wie ich sie übersetzen soll, richtig. Äh,
Sorry, I can't do anything about the noise, Tino. It started.
ähm, it's hard to translate. I don't know if you know the problem one collector in Germany had. He had his collection near his window. Yeah, and the window was open. And if thunder comes, there are really small bugs that come from the atmosphere. They I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah, yeah,
called.
yeah. The moisture. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, it's a small bug
No.
or a fly. It's called
Oh, a bug.
thunderfly.
Okay.
They're really, really, really small. And he had his collection. It's VGA, UK graders, WATA games, and in every of his cases, they small flies going in and died inside.
In the water cases.
In every case,
In every
not
case.
not only WATA. So he asked, "Is the new case Thunderfly safe?"
Actually, it should be. Yeah. No, the new case. So the old case, I can know where they would come in from. The new case should be. If it's not the new case, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I would bet. I would bet. I will take the bet. Actually, I want to bet $100. He doesn't have to pay. I'll put my money on the line, and say the new case will be bug free. If he proves to me that he gets a bug in there, I'll pay him $100.
Hast du es gehört, Ulvi? Also
It's a
nächstes
good deal.
Mal, jetzt, I guess.
Okay.
um, so maybe, yeah, Ulvi sent me some pictures. I sent it to Dennis. It was insane. I saw the pictures in every case he had. Every case. So
Wow.
consoles, games. In every
Oh my
case there
god.
was like this small flies, like 10 or 20 in every case.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, really is.
Oh, you got to get them all recased. You
Wo
can't
du,
leave.
wo du willst, Ulvi. Kein Problem. Yeah, we talk about this, Jan. Maybe we can figure out something. All right, buddy. What we do? You want to switch to your phone?
Yeah, just call me on the phone as you did, and I'll start. I'll get up. I'll go over there. I'll close this, and we'll do it from here.
Okay. All right, all right, all right. So, also rufe ich ihn jetzt nochmal an. Vielleicht kriegen wir was für dich hin, Ulvi. Ich habe das natürlich mitbekommen, alles. Jetzt muss er nur noch an sein Telefon rangehen. So, perfect. Wait a second, please.
You can see it.
Yeah, perfect, but I have to switch. All right. Maybe you can try to. Yeah. No, it doesn't work.
Maybe hold on. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh
now, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
So we're starting from the stairs.
Yeah, we're starting from the stairs. This is all dirty. I still, this is my overstock workroom, and I'm still figuring this entry portion out. But this is, and then this where we're about to go over here. This is all very brand new. So I'm still building this section out. That's the main collection. So we got just a little intro there. This was the background. This is where I just was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Tino, stop me if there's any questions, because I all I see is a black screen. I don't know if any,
So, wenn ihr Fragen habt, dann gerne schnell stellen, dann kann ich Ihnen das weitergeben, dann kann er stoppen oder sonstiges, wenn ihr irgendwas genau sehen wollt oder wenn ihr Fragen habt, dann antwortet er da sicherlich gerne. Okay, Dennis.
Okay, so this is just some like I said, this area is I'm still figuring out what I want to do here. I was thinking I'll do everything unlicensed maybe in this cabinet. This is a new PS1 N64 kiosk. These are all sealed NES games. So
there was a kiosk with PS1 and N64 in one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then this was the original overlays. So
Never saw before.
I had to put Donkey Kong
Of course,
64,
not
of
for
course,
resale.
and Spyro, but it's the TVs on the, you know, I gotta fix some of that stuff up. Anyways. Obviously Final Fantasy VII playing, the TV's broken, so I keep it off. But this is the main entrance. So as we walk in, we can either go left or right, Tino. What do you want to do?
Left.
Left?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a peek. This is where we're going later, down over there. And then we'll go in that room after. But let's
Look at
start.
the dimension of this room.
So this is the N64 and accessory area that we're gonna go in. And then if you go in that door, that's my PlayStation room. So and tell me if there's anything again, Tino, that you want me to look
Are
at.
these games sealed? This NES games?
No, the most everything is CIB. If the sealed was over there, the sealed is in California. I have my sealed collection not here at in Chicago. So many of my greatest games are actually not even here. But there are sealed stuff here that I can point out, like some hang tab stuff. Most of this 98%, 95% is CIB. So this is a CIB N64 set.
Do you have a stadium events? Is a question.
I do. I will show it.
And
These are
how
all.
long are you collecting, and how long uh, did the time to build the room? How long did it take?
Since 2007,
Since
almost full time. I'm showing these only because I have
yeah,
some
PAL games, yes.
I don't have a lot, but I bought those in 2008. I remember it because I love them so much.
Do you have a red stripe sealed PAL game?
No, none.
No. That was a question.
So this is all N64 themed.
That's so
There's a
crazy.
super system here. I love Secret of Mana music, so I play it.
Oh man.
This
Look
is
at all the accessories.
accessories,
Oh,
and it's one of the most complete. There's someone called Peter in God, is Peter from Germany? No, he's not from Germany. Is he from Germany? He's gonna kill me. He's the biggest Speedy underscore NES. He's the biggest accessory collector in the world.
Oh.
So, but outside of him, he and I have spoken a lot. He has some amazing stuff. Not a lot of people care about accessories. I think they're cool. So I was saying, remember I was saying I'm doing variants. So every single one of these is a variant. Crazy. And you can see like this is every Mario. My matte sticker somewhere else, but this is, you know, gloss sticker and then flat back and then you know, one code, yes, and then first two code, and so it each one is the you know, I'm still missing a few black box. Oh, okay. Let's go PS1. So you asked me if I'm PlayStation or Xbox. Hopefully this room can tell you a little bit.
A bit of.
Okay. There should be more. Should I turn the lights on in here, do you think?
Yeah, would be good. I guess.
The lights are very bright.
But it's good.
It's good? Okay. So just some standees. This is another project. I'm getting rid of everything behind here. I think I'll do some shelving or some kiosks. Obviously, Lara Croft.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, here's my Xbox collection.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wait.
So I think it answers the question.
Okay, if that answers your question.
sorry, Rissel. He's a big Xbox collector here in Germany. And he asked about it.
This is a launch kiosk. So from the launch, so I have the long box set in the back. So like long box, for example, I don't have Resident Evil or anything, but I have Gex and highest what is it, Rayman. Mm-hmm. So I have some, you know, but I don't have like Resident Evil. I don't think I'll ever have one.
But you don't have one graded game there, right?
Not yes,
even one.
I do. Hold on.
Ah, you have one. Oh, I saw Super Famicom also, and Genesis. Not so much.
I do have a couple graded somewhere here. Oh, oh. See?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
See?
Not VGA.
VGA. um, yeah, no, pretty much everything here is raw. Everything is. There's that, and then I think there's a burger thing somewhere. So we'll go out of there. Is this going okay? Do you want me to go faster,
No,
slower?
I think it's perfect.
Okay. Then we have this. This is the
Is
game
Are these
where I
shipping
play.
boxes full of games?
What's that?
The shipping boxes on the right and left side,
No, no,
the
almost all.
empty. All
There
right.
are a couple that are like, let's see, but it's millipede. But there are a few that are full. Under here, like that's empty. I would say maybe six of them are full, but they're nothing super great. But I do like collecting. Like this is one of the earlier prints.
All
For
right.
any there's the Contra. This is Slalom. So they have some some really old, cool. Okay, let's not make stuff fall. um, let's see here. So test station. This is all my test service center stuff. Most of it, at least. This was actually one of the biggest purchases I ever made in 2009. I was deciding between this test station. It was this, not with the Super Nintendo. I already had this. I got this for $50 the year earlier. It was this, plus the banner, plus this, or a stadium events manual. That's what I was trying to decide between. I bought that, but I think the stadium events manual might have been worth more in the long run. Oh well.
Oh
It's a
man.
It's a good, great memory. I bought it from Parpunk
Power punk.
on Nintendo Age. That was his name.
How old were you in 2009? How old were you?
10. No,
10.
I was 15. 15. So this is the gaming room banners. This is every SNES console US except Tetris Attack for this and Super Metroid. If you have Super Metroid or Tetris Attack, I will buy it. So you're saying, what am I looking for?
PM him.
Please PM me. People ask. This Sears bundle is by far the rarest.
Never saw
Another
before.
rare one, I actually saw a post recently. The Walmart one is pretty rare. This one is very rare, the F-Zero bundle. And then and I'd say those are the rarest. Someone was asking. Also, some of these sticker variants, like on the Killer Instinct and the Donkey Kong, are tough too. Okay. Oh, Pocky and Rocky, of course. You'll see some
original art.
Original art.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the original by Greg Martin, and this is a prototype display.
Kid Kirby, never heard before.
Right. It was going to use the mouse. And then I think they sort of scrapped it, and then they did crystal shards on N64. Speaking of,
was it the DuckTales? Was it the original art? No.
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, say that again.
The DuckTales. Beside the Pocky and Rocky.
Oh no, these were the mail-in posters for Capcom. So they had only like, I think, 10 of these, and you'd have to mail in, I don't know, a cereal box or whatever you got it in, maybe the game. I think they were in the game actually, and then you could get these special posters. This one, and then there's a Mega Man 3 one that's also really I don't have. But it's funny, like I remember I was in Turkey at night on my balcony when I bought these in 2010, and I was messaging with the guy on eBay trying to get them cheaper. So everything here, I remember, not everything, but most of it I remember, especially with the displays, where I was, when I got it, where I got it, and most importantly, what it felt like. I can still go back there.
I know for my personal collection, I exactly know this feeling.
Right. This is something not a lot of. I haven't seen anyone else who collects these other than some arcade guys, but these are the Play Choice 10 marquees that they used
Mm-hmm.
to put 3 of them up here, and I'm still missing Super Mario Brothers and I think Gradius. No, not Gradius. What is it? Super C. Super C. Yeah, Super C. But such a fun thing to collect. They're metal. They look so cool. Some of them are just impossible to find. Little Nintendo Power section here, and then this was the one of two. There's the third one that's different, but one of 2 Power Glove signs that
This
Mattel
Power
made.
Glove sign is so crazy.
Yeah,
It's looking so
it's got a
awesome.
little damage, but when the lights are out, you don't see the crinkling, and it looks much better.
Looks so
But how
awesome.
cool is that?
Some in the stream said Tino's only grinding all the
Only
time.
what?
Grinding. So smiling
Oh,
all the
grinning,
time.
grinning, grinning, grinning.
Greening,
Yeah,
greening.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Greening.
Good to know. Good to know. So these are sealed, for example. So these are all not. They're sealed hang tab on top of it. So,
There's
that's obvious.
sealed games in it. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wow.
So, is there any you want to see? Like maybe the Mario.
Yeah, if it's possible.
Yeah. The
Ah,
Mario
you
is
can
actually
slide
most
it.
of them. Huh?
You can slide this.
Yeah. This side slide.
Oh wow.
It doesn't make the best noise, but it slides up and down,
Uh huh.
and then you can take the games in and
Wow.
out from the side. The Mario is actually the worst condition. Most of those are very, very nice. But here, let's grade it. I know what it is. It's right. It's like a 7.5 maybe. B plus, if I remember correctly. Oh, here, wait. Let's go sideways again.
And I mean, it's only a small part in his collection. A sealed
So
Mario
the side
Bros.
is rough. It's pretty dinged up, but you know what? And I'll just leave it here for now. It's Super Mario
Yes, it is.
hang tab. And when I bought this for I want to say 4,000, and at the time it was the most money I'd ever spent on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even believe I was spending 4,000,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so significant. I always wanted a hang tab.
At
What
what
else?
time was this?
Not very long ago, like 2016,
Uh-huh.
2015. So
Was
right
it
before
was it
WATA,
this
right?
one on eBay?
No, it
No.
was from a collector named Sam,
Okay, okay.
good friend. All homebrew. If you care about homebrews, you'll know that these are really difficult to find. The Xmas 08 and 09. But I remember when they were released, and I bought them for $40 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Just some random sealed. Oh, there's another look.
Oh,
There's
look at
another
this.
graded
Mm-hmm.
game. Just some like third party hang tab sealed. So
Mm-hmm.
I love collecting. These are so tough to find with the hang tabs.
Yeah.
But that one's not hang tab. But the rest are like Spelunker.
Spelunker. Mm-hmm.
Such a difficult game to find sealed hang tabs. So those third party hang tabs were always very fun for me to collect. And then some prototype boxes. And then I still have to remember I still need a few for my set. So once that comes, that'll be filmed.
Did you ever think about to open a public museum?
No, maybe one day this will get excavated and turned into something. I don't know. Maybe. I'd love to share with more people.
I want to be the first with a season ticket for it.
Season tickets. You can come for. You've earned it, Tino. You got a free season ticket pass.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm gonna. I usually like all the music and stuff, but Final Fantasy 3 is a little loud in the beginning. I just love the intro music,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, really, it really is.
Super Nintendo over here. This is not a complete set. Everything up there is sealed. So some sealed stuff just, peppered around. But it's always
here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this feeling. Not.
I look. I don't live here, so I only get bursts of time to spend
So
now.
how is it for you to come back every
It's a
time?
treat. Oh my god! I mean, I spent in the past. I spent out so many hours, thousands of hours organizing, changing, looking, obsessing, just everything. I live down here, so it's always my escape, my solace, my sanctuary.
Do you collect with someone else, like your father or something?
No, my father got me into collecting back when I was, five, four,
Mm-hmm.
because he collects comics. But not like we don't collect together. Not
Okay.
no. I love this is obviously one of my holy grail displays, the Nintendo Power kiosk. It's there's something wrong with one of the connectors, and I'm not an electrician, so I need
Mm-hmm.
someone to help because it keeps going blue like that.
Is there an
But it's working.
electrician in my chat?
Yeah, is there an
That's your
electrician?
one
I'll
that's
fly
your
you out.
one time chance to get to Dennis' collection.
An electrician specializing in CRT TVs
Yes.
and anything old.
I saw something on the right side. Oh yeah, take a look
But
at
if
this.
you press like I press Super Smash Bros,
No, really, no.
so I just
That's
love
crazy. That's
this.
crazy.
What do you want?
Bro Skater.
Okay, I gotta wait for it to stop blue. Once it comes back on, I'll do Pro Skater. And then this is like another. These are laser discs, so I'll put the laser disc in here,
Mm-hmm.
like what they used to play in the stores.
Awesome.
So it'll give you a little demo of Final Fantasy 3 and some cheesy narrator. Here. Where were
Oh man, that's so. That's so crazy.
Pick one of nine popular characters. And then this light doesn't turn on anymore. Come on, did the electrician come into chat yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so this
I bring him with me, him or her.
is
One question from the chat: how many original art do you have?
um. So that's a good question. I have several in California too. I have all of these. This is why I put these here. This is my
Ah,
Nintendo art that I have.
uh-huh.
So I don't have like Rap Jam here in Chicago. Um, I have a couple that I posted on my Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe 10, 12 pieces, 15 pieces altogether. I'd say not all original. Like this is for an ad. This actually sold in Heritage, but
Mm-hmm. I saw
for a
this,
Game
yeah.
Boy. That one is Dino City. This is the Rocketeer Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Awesome.
My Holy Grail, of course, Mickey
Of
Mania,
course.
Kendo
So
Rage.
so crazy.
Those are the ones I have out here. I have, yeah, something like that. I don't think I have anything else out. Anyways, this was so this is
Can you show this? Yes, that's a special standee.
so the only reason that I have this, and this is because Super Mario World got too expensive. But I was at one point trying to get all 8 sealed or all of them sealed. So I have 4. I got halfway there. Everything in here is sealed.
Lasst es euch auf der Zunge zergehen. Er hat 4 sealed Super Mario World. Einfach da so stehen.
And then this is some other cool sealed ones like hard to find Ghosts and Goblins, DuckTales without the banner.
Without the banner.
I think we only graded one. Gunsmoke Revised, Gunsmoke Original, Mega Man 3 with a blank banner. That is not sealed. Don't worry, I don't own a sealed Mega Man. Complete Game Boy set.
Complete Game Boy set.
Most variants.
So can you show us like Amazing Tater?
Actually, Tino, my Tater. Okay, I know this sounds like bullshit. My Tater. There's a reason.
It's gone.
That is the only game, literally the only game that is not here.
Oh man! And I picked it. I picked it.
It's in California. If you said
I'm so
Flood's
sorry.
Adventure, So
I'm
all the
so
rare, you'll
sorry.
see all the rares are here.
Oh, also the any Bible,
Yeah,
Metal,
NIV Bible.
Metal Masters, Ninja Boy 2, all the crazy stuff. Captain
You
America
know, if you know
also.
Game Boy, if you know Game Boy, you'll
Yeah.
know that
You know, if you know,
Amazing
you
Tater
know.
is the only thing that's missing here. Yeah.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Really. That's crazy.
And then up here is all sealed rare. So these are all
Sealed
sealed.
games, really.
Yeah.
Wow. Darkwing Duck, Real Ghostbusters, Roland's Curse 2, Shaq Fu, Turrigan, Rain's World, of course. Also, CIB is so expensive. Man, that's crazy.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, why not?
Pokemon. I love this Final Fantasy 3 display. It's so cool.
It's
And the
really
Chrono
cool.
Trigger one. They're so unique.
Yeah,
These weird cardboard, like you just don't see displays like that often, you know. If you have the green, if you have any colors of these, green, yellow, pink, I'm buying.
PM.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
do you have German exclusive or European exclusive Game Boy games? Like Beethoven or something?
No, I
No.
just have things like that. I don't have
Yeah,
exclusive.
that's also very rare.
Um, I don't have. I don't think so. And I
Trip
want to.
World,
It's like
Trip World.
no. I don't have any of those. I don't have no.
Okay.
I want to get all exclusives and all art exclusives because I
Mm-hmm.
love when the different cover art for the
Yes.
same game.
Mm-hmm.
But I have too many goals right now.
Yeah.
So I,
Same
I put I
problem.
put Game Boy to rest just for a little bit so that I can focus on some other stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
was all in Game Boy for 10 years, you know.
And also all the variants I saw earlier. Oh,
These are
all
not
the
for
not for
resale.
resale. Oh man.
This is an unreleased prototype for a
Like
mountain bike rally speed racer. What were you asking, Tino? You said,
the
do I have
the consoles variants.
for
I
Game
saw the
Boy?
Game Boy
I'm
Color,
missing a
Game Boy
few.
Pocket. Yeah.
We talked about this. So
Yes, we already talked about this.
I have the main Game Boy Pockets, the main colors, but I'm missing a lot of the specials. So I still need the Walmart. Yeah, we went through it.
Yeah,
I need.
yeah.
Well, if you see it, if you don't see it, DM, because
DM, like always. What is the rarest game you have?
rarest.
Rarest. I mean prototypes, of course.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
what would
geez,
is?
I don't
Do you have the blockbuster Final Fight, for example?
know. No, I don't have Final Fight Gi. Some weird Super Nintendo stuff I have, like the Bomberman. This is
Mm-hmm.
a Pro box.
What?
Spider-Man and prototype. The Zombies alternate. Um, so not no, I don't have that. Like there's a Super Mario World rental box. It's black.
Mm-hmm.
I have a huge bounty. If you know what I'm talking about, I am very high payer for that. I know a couple people they don't want to get rid of it though. Um, this is really cool. It's so random, but this is like really. It's like a official bootleg, and
Official bootleg.
it came sealed. My friend Zach, just press play. He has a sealed version of this, VGA graded.
Really? Never saw before.
Talking about rare, that's probably one of the rarest things I have, you know? Here, let me see. So it's just like a blank cartridge. It's a multi-cart.
Wow.
But
What
like
are the games on it?
it came sealed.
Arabian,
Devil
Devil
World,
World.
Bomberman,
Okay.
who knows?
Ultra Arabian. Oh. Ultra Milk Nuts. Okay.
Anyways, so there's cool stuff. Like that's the unadapter for the HES. It's so rare, you know, this like who cares? You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
care. Who
yeah.
else cares?
I I I
Um
I saw this before. Yeah.
this is R, so
Uh,
second technically third print. Very rough shape, but I care about rarity over condition every time. So early print Zelda, very rare. I don't know. I mean, there's rare, like rare, you know, rare. I don't know. I don't know, Tino. There's
Sometimes
rare. There's
it's a difference between valuable and rare. Yeah.
correct, correct.
So
And there's stuff here that's super rare, but it's not value. It's valuable to me.
yeah,
Someone was asking, so that is
yeah.
a
Stadium
CI
events
not
also,
graded empty
but
WATA
not.
holder.
Okay. And also I saw Little Samson,
This is
Flintstones.
sealed.
Oh,
This is
Athletic World
sealed as
sealed.
well.
Wow.
Yeah. These are just the rare, rare
Stack
NES games.
up. Yeah. Really rare games.
Um, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Anything you want to look at closer?
I
Any
mean, it's
questions?
okay.
It's okay.
Do you have N64 console variants? I saw it there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I have all of them. I'm trying to remember. No, I'm missing. Oh, I'm missing the gold. I'm missing the whole gold N64. I don't know why I never bought it.
The Toys R Us one.
Yeah. No, I have
Ah,
the
the
Toys R Us fuller one.
Japanese one.
The full gold one.
Ah, the full gold one.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it released in the States?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like nine. Yeah. I mean, now I'm going crazy. Now I'm like questioning. Some random sealed stuff.
I mean, yeah, random like Zelda, Majora's
It's
Mask, sure.
it's some of this stuff it's very like what is sealed and what's not is very random.
Hmm.
Especially with Game Boy, as you know, back in the day, sometimes it just came sealed.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
it
easier to find sealed.
you bought like a stock photo one and it came sealed. So
Came sealed,
it was the same price
right?
a couple of years ago. Yeah, yeah, I can remember.
So I'm just showing the same stuff. The only thing I didn't show, which will come soon in the future, is I'm building out this room. This is my overstock. So it's just a lot of like leftover stuff, but I'm gonna make it the GameCube room. So you can see I started putting some stuff
Already
up. This is
saw
all
Sunshine.
gonna be GameCube.
Ah,
And then here I can show everyone my plans, right? I never get to, I just think about this in my head. And then so I'm still my Super Nintendo set is gonna have I'm out of space. So as you saw, there were games over there. They're gonna have to start coming over here, which means all the game. This is a GameCube
yeah,
set.
comes
It's all gonna have to go
to the
over
other
there. So
side.
I'm rearranging. This stuff will have to change, so that it's more thematic. You know.
Do
Yeah.
you have every fiber light?
No.
No.
Major. I have the major ones, but there's like a couple variants of this, right?
Yes,
So
yeah, of course. But
this is
you have a
the
WON, Nintendo NES, Game Boy, N64 I saw already, Super Nintendo I saw already.
yeah. I have the major ones. Like I don't have the KB, the really long one, the KB.
Yes.
You know, um, this one is
The
different.
dou-
Like I,
the Do
it
you
has
have
the
one
two.
double sided?
Is this double
I
sided?
don't know. Maybe.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Ah, yes, it's double sided. So it's ultra rare.
Yeah, but then there's the one with like just the seal in the middle.
Yes.
There's a couple variants of that, and then the Game Boy.
I'm searching for this one. So PM me, please. The Game Boy
Yeah,
one. Yes.
that's that. I could never decide if that. I think Super Nintendo is
Nah,
my
Super
favorite.
Nintendo is the best one for me. Yeah,
I'm
by far the nicest one.
and then this one is a little broken. That one is a little broken. But
Just
I,
send it to me, no problem.
no
I
problem.
care about it.
Anyways, so I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So, any questions from the chat? Do you have
Unfolded.
signed games? So, like my Street Fighter, for example. What is
Sign.
this? What?
These are all unfolded boxes. Here,
Wow.
unfolded gyromite. So if you have the guts
Uh
and you want a brand new one, let me know.
huh.
Signed games.
Signed games.
Fortunately, don't have any signed games.
Uh,
I have. It's not here. I have a couple signed sealed stuff that I bought on in California, but not here. I don't think. Yeah, nothing No, just like red alert signed by all the creators.
Okay,
Yuri
cool.
signed by all the stuff like that. Just not. I don't have any. I'm not like you. I'm not cool enough to have a Shigeru Miyamoto signature.
Ah, come on. you
maybe,
have you have
maybe one.
so much other crazy stuff. How much are the electricity costs for the room?
Electricity is cheap these days.
Ah,
Also,
really? Not in Germany.
yeah.
So we have a little war here, so that's maybe the problem.
Well, there's a switch here, and when I hit it, everything goes off.
Awesome.
So or most everything.
Well,
So
what
most
is
of the
this? What is this on the floor? The Zelda one on the was ist Decke? Mir fällt der Name nicht ein.
this no,
On the top of the room, the Zelda one, Link's Awakening.
builds. These are the two shields. So these are for display collectors. These are very valuable
I
shields.
never saw this before.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Link's Awakening one is actually rarer and more valuable, but they're so just gorgeous and just such nice displays.
Looks awesome, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I these have always been the intro. The intro, even for 10, 15 years, has always been 1, 2, 3. So they've been a integral part, the shields.
Yes.
And then, of course,
man.
not to be owned by. This is a Nintendo.
Nintendo Sonic, yes. Now it's owned.
And so even our Master Chief is gonna be wearing the apron.
So crazy.
Okay. I mean, Tino, I don't want to keep going if everyone's seen. So, if there's anything anyone wants to, go over or look at, I can take it. But otherwise, that's pretty much that's the collection.
I mean, that's enough, in my opinion.
If you're putting it as a VOD, right?
What?
So people will be able to watch it. Then
yes.
People can go back and watch it.
Yes.
Hopefully I captured enough of.
You. I think you captured enough.
Enough.
I mean, there are some videos on YouTube, of course, of your collection, but yeah, that was so. This live view of it, this point of view, it's so crazy, so awesome.
Yeah. Trying to think. I think I showed a little bit of
I saw it with my own eyes now.
Right.
I have in the future I have to see it live. Yeah, that's for sure. You have to invite me one day. But
you're invited.
Yeah, I'm invited already, yeah, but I have to come. I have to take the time, and you in Chicago, of course, and one day I'll be able to see this in real life. So
hopefully soon. We say inshallah.
Inshallah, yes. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us and joining me on this tour. If hold on, let me try to hold on. Too much noise. That's the other thing. Once you start everything.
Yeah, but that's the original thing, like how it's supposed to be.
I know. It just gets difficult when you're trying to have conversations. But yeah, this is so fun. Tino and I are extremely excited about the German Center, the Group Submission Center, and the program. And if anyone has questions, you can always reach out to Tino for anything about the program.
Maybe one thing, we want to install a Discord, right? German channel on Discord, the official WATA channel of Discord. We want to install a German support.
Absolutely.
Moderated by me.
Yep. And so we'll work after this, Tino, to make sure that's in place, and then everyone can sort of have a hub.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
All right. So one thing I have to say, I hope it's not a bad thing. Kendin, Ichi, Bak, Deniz, Koç, Teşekkür ederiz.
Ben teşekkür ediyorum. They're just saying kendinize iyi bakın. tüm Türklere. I'm very thankful for all our. I didn't know there's a lot of Turkish collectors. So
Yeah,
if
a
you're
lot of
Turkish and
Turkish
you're a
collectors
collector,
here.
yeah, ulaşın lütfen. But yeah, this is awesome. Thank you for having me, Tino.
No, thanks for
And
taking your time. Thanks for showing your collection. I only smile the whole time. I mean,
that's that's great.
that's the yeah, that's the
Listen, this is a lot for me, right? It's my sanctuary. This is it's a mental
sectionary.
illness,
It's a
and
good
you can
word. Yeah,
tell
yeah,
it's a mental illness is what it really is. But um, when I get to share it with other people who can appreciate it, there's nothing that makes me happier.
yeah.
So
Same.
um, I'm so happy to have done that, and ja, danke, dass ihr dabei wart. Bis bald.
That's I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for your time, Dennis. Thanks for this great stream. I think everybody is excited about this and can't wait for the reactions on YouTube and the VOD on Twitch. So yeah,
Excellent.
thanks from everyone in the stream. Everybody says thank
Thank,
you.
thank you, everybody. Thank you. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Tschüss.
Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Danke, Dennis. Ciao, ciao.
Danke, danke.
Gülle, Gülle. So Leute, also wenn das nicht crazy war, dann weiß ich auch nicht. Wenn ich das sehe, da geht mir echt das Herz auf, ne? Das ist für mich das krasseste. Ich habe wirklich schon viel gesehen und auch so geil präsentierte Sachen, aber was er da so zusammengesammelt hat in dieser Zeit, das ist so verrückt. Und ich glaube, das sucht bei weitem die Konkurrenz. Ja, und das zeigt ja auch, wo er herkommt. Ne? Das zeigt ja auch, dass WATA nicht von irgendwas gegründet wurde, weil er jetzt Geld machen wollte. Es zeigt, wie er sammelt, seit er 5 Jahre alt ist. Ja, seit er 5 Jahre alt ist. Weiß jetzt hier. Ja, da fühlt man sich wirklich sehr, sehr klein, wenn man sowas sieht. Ja, hat er vorhin gesagt. Seine Mutter ist also türkischstämmig, er ist ja, doppelter Staatsbürger. Ja, Leute, was soll ich dazu sagen? Das ist krank, oder? Das ist wirklich krank. Ich glaube, der erste Teil war cool mit der Q&A. Er ist auf kritische Fragen eingegangen und dann dieses Zeigen seiner Collection. Ja, ja, krank beschreibt es, glaube ich, ganz gut. Wie gesagt, ich bin froh, diese Möglichkeit mal zu haben, irgendwann es mir mal hoffentlich anschauen zu dürfen, inshallah, wie er schon richtig gesagt hat, dass wir unsere Wege sich nochmal kreuzen, auch drüben bei sich zu Hause, nicht in Kalifornien unbedingt, wo es wahrscheinlich eher mal klappen würde, dass man sich trifft, aber dass ich mal die Chance habe, irgendwann nach Chicago zu kommen. Ja, Xbox. Aber er hat was gehabt. Also, ja, man darf auch nicht sagen, dass er jetzt nichts hatte. Ja, danke erstmal. Ich konnte gar nicht drauf eingehen. Ne? Ich wollte natürlich mich auch auf ihn konzentrieren. Danke für alle, die jetzt hier abonniert haben und mir folgen. War natürlich auch eine mega, mega krasse Erfahrung für mich, hier erstmal auf Englisch zu streamen. Ich hoffe, ich habe das einigermaßen ordentlich gemacht, dass ihr mich verstehen konntet, dass ich die Fragen ganz gut rüberbringen konnte. War für mich natürlich auch nicht so einfach. Ich bin jetzt kein Muttersprachler und Schulenglisch, ja, ihr wisst selber, ist manchmal nicht so einfach. Es hat sich gebessert die letzten 2, 3 Jahre, wo ich jetzt viel Kontakt mit Grading und so hatte, aber ja, auf jeden Fall. Ich wollte noch kurz was teasen, bevor jetzt die ersten Sachen zurückkommen von WATA. Ich hoffe, das wird jetzt die nächsten 1, 2 Wochen so sein. Ich möchte es einführen, klar, man kennt es vom Pixel Grading, die machen monatlich ihren Game of the Month sozusagen, ne, mit der Abstimmung auf Instagram. So ähnlich möchte ich das auch machen, aber ich habe mir für den Sieger des jeweiligen Monats was überlegt, dass der auch was Physisches hat, dass er sich daran erinnern kann. Deswegen gibt es von mir jeden Monat für den Gewinner des Game of the Month von Retro-Ecke, Game of the Month Award. Ist eine Kleinigkeit, aber ich glaube, ja, ne, kann man sich schön hinstellen und So eine Sammlung anfangen ist doch auch mal nicht schlecht. Dazu gibt es natürlich dann auch ein Free Grading über den Grading Service. Also es lohnt sich auf jeden Fall, was einzuschicken über mich und dann vielleicht der Gewinner zu werden mit einem geilen Spiel. Da sind jetzt schon richtig geile Sachen unterwegs. Ich freue mich da mega drauf, die zu präsentieren dann. Erstens natürlich Unboxings hier im Stream natürlich und dann auch eben dementsprechend mit der Abstimmung für den Game of the Month. Das entscheide ich natürlich nicht selber. Da beziehe ich euch natürlich alle mit ein. Ja, das wäre es dann schon. Ich hoffe, diese Woche, also wie gesagt, VGA-Paket liegt beim Zoll. Da kommen einige krasse Sachen zurück. Auch richtig Ärger wieder mit VGA. Ja, Jan, also ich sehe in den USA auch eigentlich nur Konsolen und irgendwelche ja, Custom-Size-Sachen. Doch, Jan, die Crates weiß ich schon. Aber ja, ich kann natürlich auch nicht jeden immer die Crates vorab schicken, das ist zu viel Arbeit. Ja, VGA, wie gesagt, da gehe ich dann im Stream drauf ein. Die haben mich wieder richtig geärgert. Auch Sachen von Kunden, deswegen werde ich dann direkt drauf eingehen, wenn es soweit ist. Aber VGA werde ich wahrscheinlich in Zukunft gar nicht mehr anbieten, weil den Ärger möchte ich mir einfach ersparen. Namen Monkey Shoulder. Ja, also Lost Nerd wirklich. Also ich habe mich hier wieder maßlos geärgert, auch mit ein paar richtig krassen Leuten, die sich richtig gut auskennen, Sachen eingeschickt und wir beide uns 100% sicher, das war legit und es kommt, ja, ich erzähle das dann alles, will gar nicht so viel vorab jetzt darüber reden. Wirklich krank, was da wieder abgegangen ist. Und echt 6 Spiele verschlammt. Ach, alter Schwede. Ja, ich ärgere mich eigentlich nur noch über VGA und deswegen möchte ich da eigentlich auch nicht mehr verantwortlich sein. Oder was heißt verantwortlich sein? Ne? Ich möchte nicht mehr. Ich stehe nicht als Sündenbock da, die meisten Leute verstehen es ja, aber trotzdem, wenn ich was einsende, dann soll das natürlich auch passen, wie es bei WATA eigentlich immer klappt. Und deswegen, ja, möchte ich die Hand in Zukunft nicht mehr ins Feuer legen für andere Leute Sachen. Ne? So sagen wir es mal so. Hat mich wirklich maßlos geärgert, was die jetzt da wieder mit der Submission abgezogen haben. Und wie gesagt, gehe ich drauf ein, wenn die Spiele zurück sind. Jetzt möchte ich erstmal diesen Tag heute zelebrieren, dass es endlich geklappt hat mit Dennis. Es war immer schwierig. Die letzten Male dann ausgefallen wegen der einen Sache oder der anderen Sache. Hi Yves. Ich habe dein Spiel heute immer noch nicht, oder deine Spiele heute immer noch nicht bekommen. Sie waren immer noch im Postauto. Kriege ich morgen dann wahrscheinlich. Wirklich auch ein Witz. Danke, Lost Nerd. Sehr nett. Ja, ich wollte natürlich euch was zeigen, ne? Das mit Dennis, also seine Collection, wie gesagt, ne? Ihr habt mich grinsen sehen über beide Ohren. Das ist für mich wirklich, ich weiß gar nicht, wie ich sagen soll, Sanctuary, wie er es gesagt hat, ist schon, glaube ich, richtig so. Also das ist wirklich, die Sammlung ist wirklich der heilige Gral auf der Welt. Ich habe nicht jede Sammlung gesehen, viele sind auch unterm Schirm, aber was er da angesammelt hat, auch neben nicht nur Spielen oder Konsolen, was da auch einfach an Liebe in Details steckt, was Merch angeht, was Leuchtreklamen angeht, was Kioske angeht und so, das ist wirklich on point und ich glaube nicht zu erreichen in diesem Leben. Nicht mehr. Ja, ich will es gar nicht so lang machen, weil ich möchte es eigentlich relativ ungeschnitten auf YouTube packen. Wenn von eurer Seite keine Fragen sind, dann würde ich das für heute eigentlich beenden, in der Hoffnung, dass ich die Woche nochmal streamen kann. Jetzt ist ja erst Dienstag. Ich hoffe, es ist bei der Zollklärung VGH, dass ich es vielleicht Donnerstag oder Freitag kriege. Hoffe ich jetzt mal. Und dann Mai, Submission Mai, WATA soll auch zurückkommen. Ich schätze aber Anfang nächster Woche. Die sind gerade beim Verpacken, haben sie mir vorhin gesagt. Ja, deswegen danke für alle, die abonniert haben. Es ist natürlich sehr lieb von euch. Danke für alle, die dabei waren, die Fragen gestellt haben. Auch wenn ich auf manche kritische Fragen da nicht eingehen konnte und wollte. Und auch sowas wie, ob der die Deutschen kennt. Natürlich kennt er die Deutschen, aber ne, ja, er zeigt ja sogar seine VGAs, ne? Also so ist ja nicht. Aber so gut kennt er sich jetzt auch nicht aus, ne? Dass er jetzt da Bescheid weiß über One Upgrade oder Pixel. Vielleicht noch eher. Aber ihr wisst, was ich meine. Ne? Die Konkurrenz ist es ja dann doch im Endeffekt. Und ja, dass man da nicht so drauf eingehen will, ist ja auch klar. Gut, Leute, da möchte ich gar nicht so lange weitermachen. VOD steht dann zur Verfügung. Ich glaube, diese Roomtour, die kann man sich noch, die werde ich mir selber noch ein paar Mal anschauen, weil ich mich natürlich jetzt nicht immer 100% darauf konzentrieren konnte, weil ich ja auch immer euren Chat gelesen habe. Die Roomtour werde ich mir auf jeden Fall nochmal auf YouTube und Twitch geben. Und freue mich für alle, die dabei waren. Ich glaube, sowas mal live zu sehen, ist wirklich, ja, wie manche hier geschrieben haben, Endstufe, ne? Jo, Leute, dann verabschiede ich mich jetzt schon mal. Wünsche euch noch einen schönen Abend, eine gute Restwoche und ich hoffe, ich kann mich die Woche nochmal melden mit dem Stream. Wenn nicht, sehen wir uns spätestens nächste Woche, würde ich sagen. Bis dahin, euer Tino von Retro-Ecke. Schönen guten Abend euch und ciao, ciao.